Breaking news from around your world on this Monday, August 26th, 2019. I'm Larry Rice. President Donald Trump said on Monday he would meet Iran's president under the right circumstances to end a confrontation over a 2015 nuclear deal, and that talks were underway to see how countries could open credit lines to keep Iran's economy afloat. But Trump ruled out lifting economic sanctions to compensate for losses suffered by Iran. Speaking at the G summit in France, Trump told reporters it was realistic to envisage a meeting between him and President Hassan Rouhani in coming weeks, describing Iran as a country of tremendous potential. He said, "I have a good feeling. I think he, Rouhani, is going to want to meet and get their situation straightened out. They are hurting badly." Rouhani told French President Emmanuel Macron that he would be open to meeting Trump. Macron said he hoped a summit between the two men could happen in coming weeks. Trump and Rouhani head to the United Nations General Assembly in September. Rouhani is not Iran's top decision maker. That role is held by the fiercely anti-American Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, and anything agreed at a Trump-Rouhani encounter would be subject to Khamenei's approval. Also on the sidelines of the Group of Seven summit in France, President Trump said Monday that China had expressed willingness to resume trade negotiations. Trump said, "China called last night, our top trade people, and said, let's get back to the table. So we'll be getting back to the table. And I think they want to do something." China's top negotiator said earlier Monday that Beijing was ready to resolve the trade war through calm negotiations. U.S. stock futures had been down following mixed messages on China from Trump during the G7 meeting. First, he said he had second thoughts about his tariffs on Chinese imports. Then the White House said he meant he questioned whether the tariffs should be higher. After Trump raised the possibility of a deal, U.S. stock prices turned solidly positive. World leaders said Sunday at the G7 summit that they would help Brazil fight fires currently devastating the Amazon region. French President Macron has called the fires a global crisis, noting that the Amazon produces 20% of Earth's oxygen. German Chancellor Angela Merkel said her country and others would try to help Brazil with reforestation after the fires are out. Of course, this is Brazilian territory, but we have a question here of the rainforests that is really a global question, she said. The lung of our whole Earth is affected, and so we must find common solutions. Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro has accused Macron of violating Brazil's sovereignty by threatening to hold up a trade deal if his government doesn't do more to address the fires, which were reportedly set by loggers and farmers. Police in Hong Kong arrested 36 people, including a 12-year-old Sunday, following a violent anti-government protest. Tens of thousands of people marched peacefully earlier in the day. Some protesters broke away at the end of the rally and started setting up barriers in the road. Police responded, putting up warning flags and then using tear gas to get the protesters to leave. In response, demonstrators threw bricks and gasoline bombs toward the officers. After the remaining protesters, holding sticks and rods, started chasing officers down the street, police pulled their guns on the group, with one firing a warning shot. Demonstrators have been filling the streets for more than 2 months, calling for democratic elections and investigations into allegations of police brutality. Houthi-controlled Yemen forces said Monday it used a squadron of drones to strike important military targets in the Saudi Arabian capital of Riyadh. The Iran-backed Houthis said the drone strikes occurred Monday afternoon, one day after the same militia conducted a missile attack against King Abdullah bin Abdulaziz Airport in the Saudi port of Jazan. A Yemeni military spokesman said Houthi forces and allied fighters carried out the strikes to weaken Saudi military strongholds. Dozens were killed and injured. A spokesperson for the Saudi-led coalition said the alliance shot down a drone in Yemeni airspace that was heading for Saudi Arabia. Saudi officials dismissed the claim of Sunday's airport attack, which said hangars of Saudi warplanes and Apache attack helicopters were targeted. The coalition said it shot down 6 ballistic missiles fired by Houthi rebels. Film producer Harvey Weinstein has pleaded not guilty to 2 additional charges of predatory sexual assault. Weinstein, who briefly appeared in a New York court, has already pleaded not guilty to raping a woman in 2013 and a forcible sex act on another in 2006. Prosecutors filed the new indictment on Monday to allow jurors to hear testimony from a third accuser, actress Annabella Sciorra. Weinstein, who is 67, has denied sexual misconduct claims by more than 70 women. Sciorra, who is known for her role in the HBO series The Sopranos, said Weinstein raped her inside her Manhattan apartment in 1993. She is not listed as a plaintiff in the new case because the alleged assault took place too long ago to be prosecuted under state law. However, prosecutors hope to use her testimony to bolster their case that Weinstein is a sexual predator. Defense lawyers said in court documents that the legal move to introduce Sciorra as a witness was a desperate bid to prop up a weak case. Gloria Allred, a lawyer who represents sex abuse accusers in high-profile cases, said in a statement Monday that she was representing Sciorra. Greek authorities evacuated hundreds of people from the island of Samos after firefighters fought more than 50 wildfires over the weekend, one of which threatened a popular beach resort. Officials said the fires forced nearly 1,000 tourists to be temporarily evacuated from the town of Pythagoreio on Samos. In some cases, tourists were shuttled to safety on Coast Guard vessels to escape the smoke. Others were relocated to a sports arena until the fire was brought under control. Officials said they have arrested 2 suspected arsonists. A wildfire caused an ecological disaster this month on the Greek island of Evia, which is known for its pine forests, and fires killed more than 100 people near Athens last year. Tropical storm Dorian strengthened in the Atlantic overnight as it headed toward the Lesser Antilles. Dorian, the 4th tropical storm of the hurricane season, was about 300 miles east-southeast of Barbados, moving west at about 15 miles per hour. It was expected to hit some of the islands on the eastern edge of the Caribbean Tuesday. Forecasters say it could reach hurricane strength by late Tuesday or early Wednesday after crossing over the Lesser Antilles into the Caribbean. Tropical storm warnings have been issued for Barbados, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, meaning those places should expect winds of 39 to 73 miles an hour over the next 36 hours. Martinique, Grenada, and Dominica are under tropical storm watches as they could face tropical storm conditions in the next 2 days. Louisiana shut out Curaçao 8-0 Sunday to win the Little League World Series. The team from suburban New Orleans was the state's first to win the championship. Louisiana shortstop Stan Wiltz snared a line drive to end the game, prompting his teammates to pile onto him in celebration. He said, "It felt like my glove was a magnet," after the victory. A day earlier, he helped the team get into the final with an unassisted double play that put away Hawaii. The winners lost their first game of the tournament to Hawaii, then won 6 games in 8 days to become the first squad to win the championship after dropping their opening game. Team manager Scott Frazier said, "People from New Orleans and Louisiana in general are very resilient type of people, and this team exemplifies the resiliency that we have from the area that we come from." And that's your update for this Monday, August 26th, 2019. I'm Larry Rice. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful week.